cuties, I'm Saaniya. I'm a comedian in Dubai. I grew up in Delhi and I'm just touring now in India for the first time. And I'm very happy to be here on Daniel's podcast.
Wow, brilliant introduction. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How's the India tour going?
It's going very well, yeah. I fucking love my country. Like, it's great.
I still remember the first time we met was about, 4 years ago in Dubai.
Yeah.
I had a show there and we were all out at a bar and then somebody introduced me to you and said she's a comedian and stuff like that. And I remember back then you were a different person.
Yeah,
Like
I just started comedy.
Yeah, you had just started.
I'm about to complete 4 years.
Yeah, you had just started and you was like, yeah, I'm starting to do comedy and stuff like that. And since then you've crushed it.
Everything changed very fast.
Yeah.
Lots of things happened.
Lots of things happened.
Yeah.
Numbers went up and now you're touring all over the world.
And yeah.
It's really nice to see. And I remember the last time I was in Dubai, I think a couple of times before you opened for me.
I did,
And then I told you have to perform in India.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I don't know if they're going to like me. And I'm like, no,
I was
they're going
very
to love
scared,
you.
yeah. I was so scared. I was like,
Yeah.
imagine my own country a bomb.
Right.
They'll call me Pakistani.
And then how has the experience in India been?
I mean, I was very scared, but it's actually been very welcoming. Like the audiences, a lot of people are coming to watch their first stand-up shows for the first time, like
Right.
at my show.
Okay.
Because they're coming from Instagram. So it's like a
Right.
completely new comedy audience as well.
Right.
They're not like standard comedy audiences.
Right.
So for a lot of people, it's their first comedy show ever. And that's like awesome because they're like, wow, stand-up comedy is fun. And I'm
It
like,
is.
yeah, it is.
So you're single-handedly leading an entire pack of people into the
cuties.
industry. And you have some shows in Bangalore this weekend.
This weekend, I'm doing Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, I'm doing 2 back-to-back shows at the Underground. And Saturday was supposed to be at Mother Tekla, but it's been moved. Akash needs to tell me.
Yeah. Okay,
Still
we'll
not
find out.
told
But it's there on the
It's on the internet.
on the
You just
internet. Yeah. So
click on my links.
book my show or the link in Saniya's
Yeah.
bio and you can find it over there. I'm touring as well, which is so funny because this weekend we're both swapping cities. You're performing
Yeah.
in my home city. I'm performing in yours. So I'm going to be in Dubai 14th of December. I'm also
Fun.
doing Bangalore on the 21st of December and Goa on the 28th of December.
How's Goa?
Goa's amazing.
For comedy?
Amazing. You have to come.
Oh, I would love to.
It's
I love
really
Goa.
nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because
Okay.
so we've sold out one show, we've added a second show, so I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. 3 more shows, and the year is done. And what a year it has been! Did you have a good year?
I had an interesting year. Let's go with that.
I didn't have the best year of my life. Let's go
I'm
with that.
sorry.
Yeah, but I think a year end is a great time to be a little bitchy about everything that has happened. So while we're on the topic, what would you like to bitch about today?
Today, I want to bitch about situationships.
Situationships. All right. Are you for or against?
Against.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Of course, it depends on the situation.
Listen, I'm a romantic. I'm like all full love or nothing. Okay? I don't believe in this in-between nonsense. That really irritates me.
Okay, so the dating scene has evolved quite a bit over the last decade or so, right? And I've also been out of the game for a while. So there are so many new spaces within which people
Yeah.
exist and they're either dating or they're not. So let's define the boundaries of a situationship. What would classify as a situationship?
I mean, what people like to say, see, there's 2 different things happening in a situationship. One person usually likes the other person a lot and wants to be with them. And the other person is like, no, this is a situationship because I like you. I just don't like you enough to like make you my girlfriend.
Right. So you're checking some boxes, but you're not checking all the boxes.
I think so, because I think that's the only reason you wouldn't call it like a full-blown relationship.
Yeah, but is it the same as a casual dating?
No.
Because when I last got into a full-blown serious relationship, casual dating was the term that was going around then. So
But what is the time period for casual dating?
there's no time period. Casual dating is basically where you go out, you do stuff, you hang out, but there's no like real commitment and there's no emotional involvement in
But then
each
why are
other's
you
life.
doing anything?
Because the sex is amazing.
Okay, but so see, in my day, because I'm an old lady.
What do you mean your day?
I'm
You're younger
35
than,
years
you're younger
old.
than I am.
How old are you again?
Yeah, just Google it. It's there online. Yeah,
In your 40s, I think.
I just about got there.
Acha, okay. Okay, you're not that far away from me. But
Yeah.
back in the day, see, I got divorced. And I was with
So
someone
you
for
have
8
that.
years.
Yeah, you have that over me.
Yeah, I was with someone for 8 years. So dating before that and dating after those 8 years is like the vast differences.
What did you find has changed since then?
Well, back in my day, it was like you either date someone like seriously, or you have friends with benefits,
Right.
or you just hate them
Right.
and you don't do anything.
Right.
But now it's like you're not friends with benefits. You like each other romantically, but not enough to make it a relationship.
So there is a sufficient amount of emotional investment in the relationship?
Yeah,
Is that
there
so?
is emotional investment, but somehow like it just doesn't turn into a relationship.
Right. So you have to ask each other how your day went, and then
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
having a bad day at work, you tell your situationship partner that you have had a bad day at work, and they
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
listen, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they have to hate the person that you are bitching about as
Yes.
much as you hate them. So all of that stuff
Yes.
is there. So basically, it's like an almost relationship. You're almost there.
It is a relationship.
It is a relationship, but you're
Yeah.
just not calling it.
You're not calling it that because you don't want the official label because you want to have your cake and eat it too,
Which is what the other cakes around.
which is bullshit. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's because situationships, you can even say, okay, exclusivity is there.
So there is an exclusivity, right? You're not allowed to see other people.
That depends on the situationship.
So there's a contract.
I think there's some sort of like understanding where you're like, okay, I don't want you to fuck other people. And then the other person will be like, okay, fine, but I still won't tell anybody that you're my girlfriend. So I think you're still being available.
Right. So in the sense that you're seeing this person in vacuum. Like
Yeah.
you're seeing them in a vacuum
It's almost
where
like a secret.
yes, like a secret.
Yeah.
You're in it and you're having a
Yeah.
great time. He's sleeping over.
Yeah, yeah.
Your toothbrush is at his house,
Hanji.
but his mom doesn't know.
His mom doesn't know. Maybe
Friends
even
don't know.
basically,
Right.
yeah, you're not being exposed to his like circles as his girlfriend. It'll be like, oh, this is Saaniya.
Right.
Like that's it.
More they
And
do
if
not
someone
say.
asks him like, "Are you single?" He'll say yes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So he's still like got that like green light availability if he finds someone who I don't know.
So which means that at this level, if you want to get out, you can get out.
You can. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's not even a breakup then.
Exactly.
They don't become your ex.
They're not your ex.
Even though they are present.
It's just someone you had a thing with.
Someone you had a thing with. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a thing
yeah.
with it. My thing is at his place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to go pick up my thing from his place.
I'll cut his thing off. Yeah, I don't like situationships. I feel like it's like you either go all in or you go all out. But this whole like middle line,
Or
unless
you pull out.
huh? Or you pull out.
Yeah.
Yes, stay safe, kids.
Why do you think this is like? Why do you think stuff like this happens? Like I've been in like yeah, I've had, like I said, right, the casual scene where you're just like, okay, you're just getting together, you enjoy spending time with each other, you go watch a movie, probably get
Yeah.
a meal and hook up or whatever, but there's no emotional investment. I don't want to hear about your day. I'm not going to tell you about mine. That
Acha.
that was very peaceful. Like there was merit
Yeah.
in that because it was very peaceful and it works for people who don't want to have something serious going on in their life in that sense.
Yeah.
But because they've got other stuff going on or they want to focus
Yeah.
on their career and all of that. So that worked. This for me does not make sense. In the sense, like unless there is something holding you back, there's something holding you back from owning that relationship. Like if you're in the middle of getting a divorce
Okay.
or your
Yeah.
kids are at the same age as the person you're dating and you have not told them that
Yeah.
you're with because I know someone who was dating this man and his kids were also in the picture and almost the same age or closer, so it was a little awkward.
Yeah.
So do you think that what do you think about those situations where there is
So I'll be honest. I know I am saying I hate situationships, but I have also been the person to not want to go beyond the situationship. Like after I got divorced,
right?
I started dating someone and I had just stopped being someone's wife. So I was like, I don't want to be someone's girlfriend so quickly.
So quickly, yeah.
So because I was still I just got divorced. I had just started comedy. I was trying to be a person,
Yeah.
trying to create a space for myself, like
Yeah.
just outside of any man,
Yeah.
not adjacent to anyone.
Yeah.
And that was the psychological space that I was in. So I was like, look, if anyone asks me if I'm seeing someone, I'll say yes. I just don't want to be someone's girlfriend right now. And eventually, in a few months, yes, I'll be your girlfriend.
I feel, yeah, I think that's what I call a reset. when you just get out of a relationship, I think I've learned this the hard way
Yeah.
that you must give yourself the time to recover from the relationship.
How much time?
It depends. That depends on you, like how quickly you can recover, how honest you are with your own recovery. You know, if you
Yeah.
need therapy, like
Yeah.
because I think honestly today, if you are going through a breakup, you should get therapy.
100%. If it's a
100%.
bad breakup, I've been in therapy for 4
Especially.
years since my divorce.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Have you done therapy to?
Since my divorce, yeah.
Yeah, and you found it helpful.
Dude, it's life changing.
It's life changing, right?
It's life-changing,
I'm
yeah.
in therapy as well because I'm also going through something, and I find that it ties up really well, especially with the breakup. So, and I think that reset time is important. But life isn't fair, and you do end up sometimes meeting people
Yeah.
before you
You're ready.
might be ready to go all
Yeah.
in, and then there's something about attraction that you can't hold back, right? Sometimes I feel attraction is not logical.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you can't fight it.
You
You're
can't
like,
fight it. You
"Acha hai
just
na."
want it. You want
Uh-huh.
it. So I think then that becomes a situationship.
Ah, I see. I can see that. But then it's also like, because every situationship that I have like observed, because in a lot of my audiences when I perform, they, especially in India,
Yeah.
I've been noticing a lot of situationships in the audience.
India itself is a situationship. You know what I mean?
true.
There's no real commitment to any particular direction that we as a nation
That's so good. Yeah.
are going in. But
We'll see.
But
when
even
we
in the
get there.
dating space, oh, this is so true. I don't know what perception people outside India have of Indians, but Indians over here miles ahead of a lot of other cultures, I would say,
In dating?
in dating. Yeah.
What do you mean? What does that mean? In what way?
In the sense that, first of all, especially the middle and the upper middle class, they're exposed to the world from the comfort of the living room as they're growing up, right? And then a lot of
Yeah.
them travel, and so they are well aware. Indians, there's this perception that maybe Indians live in a cocoon or Indians live in villages, and because the exposure of the West or other cultures to India is what they see in, Slumdog Millionaire
Yeah.
or all these other TV shows. They don't show the real
Shit.
India.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas the real India, where at least where people in our circles,
Yeah.
they're miles ahead. They've done everything, and your grandmother.
I mean, I have been speaking to a lot of people during this tour, a lot of comics, and a lot of things they've said has been a bit shocking for me also. I've been like, you did what?
Yeah.
Because I'm quite like a reserved, a little bit more on the traditional side of things.
Yeah.
Like you say, I don't like situationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me angry.
Yeah.
But I have seen actually a lot in India. People are
People do. Yeah.
pushing boundaries.
There are no boundaries in
There are no boundaries.
There is no line of control.
There should be.
Yeah.
See?
So I think then maybe, if one is getting into a space where they have feelings for somebody or they're feeling attracted to them, do you think then it is essential to check for readiness?
I think
Or do people do that?
because there's two people, right? One person may not be ready, but they still might feel the attraction and love and all the emotions, but they may not be psychologically ready. But it just depends on how long the other person is willing to wait.
And are they honest enough to admit that they're not ready?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like in America, when you buy a gun, they do a background check, right?
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
person is ready
Yeah.
or capable of owning a gun,
Yeah.
of handling the responsibility that comes with owning a gun. I think we should have a similar background check to see if the person that you're attracted to is ready to handle the responsibility of being in a relationship. And vice versa, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that has to then come from a lot of honesty from both parties, where you say, okay, this is where I'm at. I just got out of something, or I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah. So basically, my therapist will speak to his therapist, and then they'll compare notes.
Best.
And then bus. Then the therapist
then
will be
let the
like, he's
therapist
ready.
decide. Let the
Let the
therapist
therapist
decide.
decide. Just move
So
that
it's like a psychological kundali.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of kundlis, the other day I was telling someone about how I heard this somewhere, right? In Hinduism, Mangaliks, they marry trees.
They marry trees, yes.
Because if the charts don't match, they marry a tree.
Yeah.
And they cut down the
I've
tree.
heard about that. But to be fair, with most marriages also, eventually it does feel like you're married to a tree. Like couple of
it
years
can be
in,
hard.
It can be quite hard,
My friend married a tree. That's why I know about this.
And then Is she still married to the tree?
No, the tree is dead.
The tree died.
No, so they do this because if you're a Manglik,
Right.
your birth chart says you're a Manglik, it means your first husband will die if he marries you. So that's why you
So
marry.
that's good, right? Why would you marry a tree?
Because then you kill the tree is your first husband, you kill the tree.
But see, here's the flaw in the logic. In most cases, the relationship is not going to work out anyway. So if he dies, you still get his stuff. Why would you give the stuff to the tree?
No, because then if he dies, then it's your fault.
Oh, so he'll die because he married you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's because you should have. You marry a fish and you kill the fish.
You have to marry then you kill the fish.
Yeah.
And then do you eat the fish as well?
I don't know about
Can
this.
you have like what do you say, like a pati tawa fry?
But
So the fish becomes your husband, right?
I mean, technically,
Yeah, so a pati tawa fry.
I mean, make
To
a whole
commemorate the
menu,
fact
make
that,
a whole menu of
he's no
like
longer with you.
ex-husbands, ex-fish husbands. But yesterday I said this in front. We were having this conversation in the green room, and one of the comics was like, "I would love to marry a fish. Fish have no teeth."
What fish is this comic expecting
don't
to
know,
go
but I
down on
thought it
him?
was really
Because
funny.
I'm an angler and I go fishing a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
Oh,
and there are a
wow.
lot of fish in the ocean that have teeth that could gnaw your gonads.
Are you
In a
one of
single
those
bite.
like fishermen who have like all your Tinder photos just different fish that you
No,
caught?
I don't post any pictures of me. With
Good, because
I mean,
that's bad.
I don't recall. I mean, I'll post pictures or maybe videos of me fishing and
Okay.
maybe with the catch, but I'm
Okay.
not that hardcore. No, I'm not one of those. No,
Okay.
not one of those guys who's on Tinder with a picture of
Okay.
fish he just caught. No.
Yeah,
no.
my ex-husband was one of those people. I met him on Tinder.
And he had a fish.
He had many fish.
He had
Different
many-
photos of just him holding different
The
fish.
Okay, okay. So then, did you marry him or did you marry the fish?
All I can say is that it was not a great catch at the end of it. It was, no, it didn't work out. But he was nice. It just wasn't.
So then,
The
coming
right
back
hook.
to
Situationships.
situationships. So would you then say that in some cases, a situationship is acceptable? Like, for instance, like if you met somebody and they are not ready for whatever reason,
Yeah.
there's genuinely roadblocks that are coming in the way of you guys being in 100% and owning it. Then would
It
you
depends on
say
the
you're for it?
timeline and how long you're willing to wait for the person. Like, because for example, I may be fully ready and then I meet someone who's just gotten out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
But it's like we're perfect for each other and he's really like emotionally invested in all of the investment is there. But he's like, I just need time. So in the meantime, I'm like, then what is this?
What do you do with your time then?
No, but he's like, we're a relationship, which is not the official relationship. Like, there's no label, for example. And then what you do? But if you like him enough, if you love someone enough, you'll wait, I think. But
Yeah, I think
that's a legitimate reason, though.
yeah, what you could do is put the relationship on sim, like on simmer when you're cooking.
Acha.
Put it on sim.
Like, yeah.
Let the person deal with whatever they're dealing with. And
Yeah.
then when he or she is ready, you see how you're feeling about that person then. And if it lines up and if you're still feeling the same way, go for it. If your feelings have changed, then
No, but what if
That's that.
what if it's like a full-blown relationship, you're just not calling it that? That's what the situationship is that I'm talking about. Because I've seen so many people in the audiences, Indian audiences, where they were like, everything, they were like almost pretty much living together,
right.
toothbrushes each other's place, in love, all of those things, but they just don't, one of them doesn't
And
want
did
to
they
call
say
it.
why?
I'm just not ready yet. I have a toxic ex or something like that,
Do you feel that some people use this as an escape to not get serious or not commit to somebody?
I definitely think this is my problem. Like, look, if there's a legitimate excuse for you not being ready to be in a relationship, that's a legitimate reason.
Yeah, like a divorce.
Long-term
whatever, just got
relationship,
out,
whatever,
yeah.
you're psychologically going through something,
Yeah.
fine. But if you're like a free person and there's no like basis for this, then you just don't like the other person enough. Yeah, then you're just, what are you doing?
I also have a theory where I believe that not everyone you're attracted to is meant to be with you for the long term, at least. Like, because we have this weird idea of love that we've been conditioned with growing up, right? You meet somebody, you fall in love, you get married, and you live happily ever after.
Yes,
That's,
yes.
That's the dream that has
Template.
been sold to all of us. That's the template everyone's aspiring to. But life doesn't work that way. Neither does
No.
love, because you can fall in love, you can fall out of love, you can grow in love. So I think that every person that you meet
Yeah.
romantically is meant to spend a certain amount of time with you. Like you guys are meant to spend a certain amount of time with each other, and you want for it to last for as long as possible. Like what you want is for this relationship to end with one of you dying first.
Ideally.
Ideally, right? That would be the most
Yeah.
ideal situation. No, actually, the
Ideal.
ideal situation would be both of you dying together.
That's my dream.
That's the dream, die
Yeah,
together.
we just
Because,
die together.
See, Saaniya, if you die first, the person who's left behind has to suffer.
That's why I prefer that I die
You
first.
want to die first?
Yeah, because then I don't have to suffer if he dies first.
I would prefer to stay back. Like I want my partner to die first, so I can still have some life.
Oh my
some
God, have you
sense
seen the
of a
movie
life.
Up? It's so sad.
Yeah, but that's because he's old. And
His wife dies. I don't want, no.
Yeah, but
we should
he's
die
old
together.
and he's attached to his house and stuff. But if
I
you really
get-
put yourself out there, if you had to go to the gym, work out, get on Tinder, I'm sure he would have had a much, a much different ending.
I mean, I guess so. Different
Yeah.
type of up. But okay.
But that's what I'm saying. So I believe that the people that we get drawn to or we fall in love with are meant to be a part of our lives for a certain amount of time, And like I said, and you want for it to last till one of you dies. But in case it doesn't work that way, when your paths are diverging, I think it's important to understand that the paths are diverging now and not try to drag a dead horse. We've all seen those relationships as well. Where
Yeah.
You see a couple and be like, yeah, this should have ended 5 years ago.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So that being said, if you use that logic and then also bring it into the space of situationships, like when you meet somebody, I think you should also be able to kind of figure out in your head if this person is someone you see yourself going that far with, or kind of if you can get a sense of how far you see yourself going with this person, then I think that's a good guide about a good guide for how you should approach
Yeah.
this relationship. For example, right, you meet somebody, you go out on a date, you're having a good time, he's a great conversationalist, but then and as you're getting to know this person, start thinking to yourself, can I do a vacation with this person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
can I picture myself, taking this person home for the holidays?
Exactly. Him
right?
meeting my family is a big
Family,
one. Yeah.
So will this person get along with my friends? Will this
Yeah.
person get along with my family and stuff like that? So I feel that maybe if you then start, just evaluating all these different
Yeah.
real life scenarios one by
Yeah.
one and see if the fit is perfect.
I
And then
think
decide.
so. Look, I don't hate. I think people come into your life to like add value in some way or the other.
And drain you as well. Not everybody
Drain-
you fall in
some
love
are
with
total
adds value.
dickheads. Some are
A
total
lot
waste of
people
time.
you fall in love
Yes.
with, they take a lot away from you.
100%.
Right.
I would agree. A lot of
Like we were discussing this earlier as well about like people in a relationship who don't contribute financially.
oh yeah,
Yeah. right?
yeah. I once dated this guy who just wouldn't pay for himself.
I don't get that.
That was crazy.
I really don't get that. I've heard a lot of these horror stories as well from my friends of their exes, and it's surprising that a lot of men are doing this.
This is a new thing.
Yeah, like one of my friends, her ex would use her credit cards for really big purchases without
Yeah.
asking sometimes, or without feeling bad for it at all, or without offering to pay back. And it kind of then just became something he always did.
Yeah.
And I've heard a similar story from many people that I know where it's the man who's doing this.
It's a
Is this
weird new
happening a lot?
trend.
Is this happening a lot where
This happens
a
to me.
lot of women are getting into relationships with men and the men are draining them financially?
I mean, for me personally, my mom, she ruined me, okay? When I was a kid, she was like, never let a man pay for you because then you are a prostitute. And I was like, oh shit. Now imagine, okay, every time a man tried to pay for me when I grew up, I was like, I'm not a prostitute.
Right.
And they would just be like, what? So I always had this thing that I always pay for myself, which means
Right.
I've dated a lot of like poor people.
Right.
I have. And when I was younger, that was tough because I wasn't earning money. It was my dad's money now.
Right.
So then I would have to pay for them everywhere as well. So technically I was their sugar mommy and my dad was their sugar granddaddy.
Right.
Technically.
And he was the main
Because he's the,
source
I mean, yeah, because I
so
was
he
not.
was funding your dating
Before I
life.
started
Before
working.
you started working, right?
Yeah. So like I dated guys when I was like below 20.
Sugar
Who also?
granddaddy is wild.
My sugar granddaddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their sugar granddaddy.
Right. No, wouldn't it be... No,
Because they're the sugar baby, right?
they're the sugar baby, you're the sugar mama. And then,
But I don't have sugar. So technically my dad has the sugar
dad's
now.
sugar, you're just the mama.
Yeah, I'm just... yeah.
You just have the vessel, he has the sugar, and
Yeah.
my dad has the penis. All right.
Yeah, that happened.
And then how did that evolve then? As you got older, what happened?
Then as I got older, no, I didn't learn my lesson for a long time. Even when I like dated, I mean, at least my ideal scenario would be someone who just can pay for himself, and then I pay for me also.
What do you mean when you say you didn't learn your lesson?
Like I dated a lot of dudes like who I financially supported. It wasn't just one. I just said
Oh, so
that because I was
you
embarrassed.
eventually threw your mother's advice
It's
out
kind
the
of
window.
my type, yeah. Who I financed, like I went the other extreme.
Right.
And then as I grew older, I was like, after my divorce especially, I went on some dates and the guys would just be like, stop the shit. And then I was like, okay.
I feel yeah. I think it depends on where you are also. If you're just in college or school, and that's okay. That you can make you can excuse a lack of funds in those spaces because like okay, both neither of us are earning, so whoever has covers it or whatever. But I feel like once you're a fully functional adult where you have a job and stuff, I think both parties need to bring a certain amount.
So
you have to be able to contribute financially to a relationship.
So the thing with my issue was that I was very like, I will never go for a guy for money. That was my thing because my mother, I will be prostitute. So I was like, I'll never ever go for a guy because of his money.
Right.
So I used to date men who didn't earn as much as me.
Right.
So let's say maybe we go out on dates and stuff, then I would pay for them because they don't earn that much.
And was this a coincidence or you went looking?
No, I didn't go looking,
how much money do you have
but
before you
if
go
you
on a date?
don't look, and this is the lesson I've learned now, is that now I need to date guys who can at least pay for themselves, afford to pay for themselves when we both go out together. Like, should earn at least as much as me. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair, yeah.
Like financially similar wavelengths.
Similar wavelength, similar lifestyle.
Because I can't afford to, my dad is not giving me money anymore. I can't afford to support them.
Life is expensive, bro.
It's so expensive. Oh,
Everything
shit.
costs so much money. I feel like I'm in a situationship with my bank balance. It's like money comes in and before
like
I can even
water is
read
gone.
the serial number, it goes out and I'm like, bro, I just want to get to know Gandhi. Why can't I spend some time with Gandhi? Like, why is he leaving so quickly?
Yeah, money is, I'm not a financially, like I'm not good at it. I'm not good at saving money and all that shit.
I think you should just be good enough. Good enough for that.
I'm good enough to support myself.
Yes, for as long as you're alive, you can take care of yourself, your family.
I can take care of myself.
And stuff like that. I think that should be good enough.
Yeah, and my dog. My dog and
your
me.
dog.
That's all I
Yes.
got.
And
But
cats, if you have cats also. Yeah.
I'm the cat.
You're the cat, of course. Yeah. But why do you feel a lot of women find themselves in these relationships where they end up paying for the man? Why do you think that happens?
I think it's almost like a different variation of feminism where we feel like, and this is something I do feel bad for a lot of men, especially in the Middle East, because I live in Dubai, right? I know there's a lot of pressure on men to pay for women.
Right.
There is a huge amount. I mean, I know so many women from other nationalities who are like, what do you mean you pay for yourself? Because they're like, the man should pay always and he should pay your rent also and all your bills. And I was just like, ye to different. So in a lot of parts of the world, the men have a lot of pressure on them to pay.
Yeah.
So I think as a feminist, when you start like being like, okay, equality, that means I should pay. And then when you pay for the man, you're like, feminism.
Right.
And then that turns into something else.
Yeah, but then I feel like it becomes too much of a correction.
It's an overcorrection.
It's an
overcorrection,
because what you said about the example about men having this pressure, especially in Dubai, where they have to fund, not just the dinner, but
it's hard.
rent and all of that stuff. I think so. What you're talking about is a certain kind of man who has some financial capacity.
Yes.
Right. Whereas here, what is happening is I've heard stories of men who have no ambition, no drive, don't want to do anything with their lives.
Like nothing men.
Yeah, the nothing men. They just barely, they're doing the bare minimum and then they're expecting the women to take care of them. This is happening very often.
Well, they've probably got some magic skills then, is my guess. I can't think
I
of
could
any
never
other.
why wrap my head around why women
They
would
must be
want to be
very
someone.
handsome, charming men.
They're all right.
They're all right.
Yeah, I mean there are handsome, charming men who have money also. So
But they're all taken.
no,
Yeah, they're.
those are the guys who are in situationships.
Those are the guys who get to call it a situationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, just dangle them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow, so there's a lot of women dating, like paying for men here.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah!
Damn.
Oh hell yeah! Like next time you're doing a live,
Yeah.
just ask the women. I don't know. I mean, what's happening outside India, but ask your Indian fans how many
Yeah.
of them have or are supporting their man financially,
Wow.
and you'll be surprised by how many say, "Yeah, it's
I mean,
happening."
but if you turn this around, right? Like, if you hear of a man supporting his wife
Hmm.
or like supporting his girlfriend, then it's not such a big taboo. So, are we in the
Because
wrong to
then-
question this?
See, again, then that is a more traditionalist route, right?
And it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
What's happening here in this case, whereas when you flip it over, and so a lot of people are going to go like, oh, so is it okay for a guy to then pay for a woman?
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. So that then you're going into traditional roles in a relationship where
Gender roles.
where
Yeah.
the man is the provider, the woman is a nurturer,
Huh.
and stuff like that. So in a marriage, it's a different equation, right?
Yeah, because
When you're
she's
married-
having the kids and
Exactly.
she's raising the kids. That's a job on
100%.
its own.
But I'm talking
yeah.
about when you're dating.
Yeah.
When you're dating, it's a different equation over there. And here, what is happening is from the stories that I have heard, the women. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay for your man. Fucking spoil him. Spoil him
Yeah.
once in a while. Buy him.
100%.
buy
Once
him-
in a while,
yeah, buy him some
100%.
perfume, buy.
I love buying
buy-
things for
yeah,
the
buy
guy I'm
things for your
dating.
man, yeah.
That's like the nicest thing you could.
or
Like, it's so much
sports car,
fun.
whatever. Like
Itna bhi nahi.
Yeah.
No,
but-
like I love going shopping for the guy I'm dating.
Yeah,
That's like
but
a
I'm
great
talking
feeling.
but I'm talking about the ones where the guy isn't pulling his weight enough, and then it's draining the relationship.
Yeah, I think when you have to like pay for his like taxis and pay for him to like that's a lot.
Food and
Pay for his
everything,
food,
yeah.
and then you're like, okay, I can't support you.
Yeah. So it would be fair to assume that while you do love supporting your man, you should know where to draw a line and be like, yo, listen.
Yeah, but
I'm
then
not
if the
getting
woman is doing the same thing, maybe it's a cultural thing because I think in Arab culture, the men want to be the
Yeah.
what do you call it,
Breadwinner.
bread giver. They give the bread.
They give it.
Yeah, like take my bread, but the woman just like expects it because that's their culture also. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine an Arab man being like, no, pay for me or pay for letting a woman pay for
Yeah.
herself.
So it could be a cultural thing also.
Yeah. How interesting that India is evolving in the dating scene like this. But the other day I had a pansexual in my audience. How exciting is that?
Define that again. I get very confused with all
I
this.
also got very confused. I asked her, I was like, what is this? Because I know the gay and bi.
Pansexual means you're attracted to everybody?
Pansexual means you're attracted to anybody, meaning gay, bi, and if they're trans also.
Wait, you're attracted to everybody. So that's a good thing, right?
Like girl, boy, and trans and gay, everybody. Like you don't discriminate.
Does that increase your success rate?
I don't know. She was still single, I think. So
It's like
you're crying. Are you choking? Are you okay?
that's like having a master key that opens no locks.
Huh. Then you're like anything will do, and
Right?
still.
Because see, if you're attracted to only a certain type of person, then your market size shrinks, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because the niche.
It becomes
Right?
a niche. Then.
Yeah.
Whatever you could be a man, woman, trans, whoever.
Yeah.
But if you're attracted to everybody, that means everyone's on the table. And if
And
you
then
still
you're
can't
still
find
si-
someone,
then
it's your fault.
then it must
Yeah.
be you. Although she was a lovely girl, so I
Yeah.
don't know. Wait, maybe I can't even call her girl. Maybe she's something else. She was a lovely
Person.
person. Thank you. Lovely person. This is another thing, by the way. I spent a lot of time with this, I won't say his name, with this guy recently. He's in the comedy community. Spent a lot of time with him. And then, matlab, he's a dude that I know and we're spending lots of time because of comedy. And then he's like, I'm gender fluid, non-binary, all of those things.
He doesn't
Then I'm-
identify as anything.
But I'm like, but what does this mean? Because you are presenting as a man and talking as a man and like, you are, do you know what I mean? Like, how does this fit into this? Is my question. And not like I'm judging it. This
Trying to
is
understand.
just curiosity because I don't understand it.
I think from what I
India's become very
can
woke.
understand,
Yeah.
I think gender fluid is you don't feel traditionally like a man or a woman. Or
Yeah, I understand. But
just,
do you feel like you don't feel like the gender norms, the construct fits you, like the roles? Is that what it feels unfamiliar and alien?
I don't
What
know if it's a
What is
if
it?
it's like semantics in the sense of I can't fit into society under these norms or what. I think it's
Ah.
more inward. I really don't know actually.
Like, I don't feel like a woman. I'm a very effeminate, like very feminine woman. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine not feeling like a woman. But I have to be able to
Yeah.
empathize.
Yeah. Also,
Like,
just to let you know, we are in cancel territory right now.
I know. But the thing is, like, this is not coming from a place of judgment. I
Yeah,
am
it's
a
coming from a place
millennial.
of curiosity.
I'm a millennial, and
Yeah.
I regularly go to my Gen Z friends and I'm like, I can't understand this. Can you explain? And then they sit me down and explain it to me.
I have asked some of my queer friends to
Yeah.
explain things to me, and they're like, "Bro, even we can't understand this. After
Ah.
this point, when we have checked out,
Yeah.
and I can't relate to it because I think I don't know if this reel has popped up on your Instagram where a bunch of these folks talking about what they are, right? Pansexual and this and that. And then
Okay, no.
there are so many terms that are coming up now
Like, different, anything.
that it's almost like maybe people are putting things together. I don't know.
I mean,
But I think there's space for everybody.
there is space for everybody, and I'm not trying to take away anybody's space.
Yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
my thing is that I saw the boomers being very judgmental of the millennials, and I always thought I will never be this type of old person.
Yeah.
And now I'm becoming an old person. So I'm
Yeah.
struggling and like clawing my way back to the youth, being like, help me understand. It's just
Yeah.
a curiosity thing, and I love Google. I'm very open to understanding all these things. So tell us.
Yeah. Comments.
Comment. Yeah, like how does the gender fluid stuff fit in?
Yeah.
Like how also yeah, I would love to know, from other gender fluid people
And how does that fit into the dating space then?
in a dating space as well.
If you're like gender fluid, are you only then attracted to other people who are gender fluid or?
Yeah, there was this one guy. He was a guy, he identified as a guy in Dubai who had a girlfriend. He kept saying my girlfriend in Bombay. My girlfriend Bombay. And then he said something, I was like, she, and he was like, no, they, because they are non-binary gender fluid. And I was like, Ben, then she's not your girlfriend.
She's your they friend.
She's your friend.
Or your they
Or
friend.
your they friend. No, but the girl,
Yeah, you have girlfriend.
they is not the
boyfriend.
equivalent of girl.
Yeah, but the grammatical use of the word also has been thrown out of the window a long time ago. And
Acha,
you're not allowed to kind of comment on that. But
Yeah. She's your they friend.
man, I can't imagine.
They or they friend.
Imagine what dating is going to be like, right? 40 years from now.
But this is what confuses me. And also, it's almost like there's been this like struggle to get out of labels and constructs. But in that process, there's a million new labels.
I think
So-
I think the answer to all our questions is robots.
Wow.
I think eventually that is what will happen.
There'll be a
We are
robot
all
sitting
gonna
inside
get-
my head.
Yeah, we're all
Who
going
will
to get so
tell me?
sick of each other or so sick of finding the perfect partner. Eventually, you just buy a robot from Tesla. You program it exactly the way you want it, and
I saw Kim Kardashian's robot.
exactly.
You saw?
Yeah.
She's being very sexual with it.
Yeah.
She was like,
That is the future. That is the future eventually. I mean, because what is a dildo eventually? It's the dick that is not attached to a robot.
but imagine if it can speak to you. It's like, hello, you again.
Exactly. So, I mean, I always feel like robotics was the future of dating and sex. They started with dildos and now they're just building the rest of the.
Yeah, but you still want human connection at the end of it. Right?
That's what friends
I
are
wonder
for.
what people will be called who are only attracted to robots. There will be a
Robosexual.
Wow.
Robosexual, yeah.
This is a brilliant thing you have said. Robosexual?
Yeah. Because yes, my friend, he's bisexual. This friend is homosexual, and Saaniya is robosexual.
Robosexual. Imagine that.
That
I'm only
sounds
attracted
dangerous also. Like I'm
robosexual. It sounds kind of cool though.
Yeah.
You know? Like my robot boyfriend will come. My robot day friend.
My The robot
Ro-
gay friend who's also
robot.
very fluid.
Very fluid. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think this is
Introduce them to my
yeah.
parents.
I think this is a good note to end this episode on.
Okay.
Robosexual.
Robosexual.
See you in the future, 40 years from now.
Mm-mm-mm.
Thank you so much for joining me, Saaniya. I hope
Thank you
you
for
had
having
a
me.
good time and all
I
the
did.
best for the remainder of your tour in India. Do you want to just plug
Thank
those
you.
dates one more time? before we go?
Yes, they will be on the 14th and 15th of December on Saturday and Sunday. Please look at the links in my bio. You'll find the tickets on Book My Show. I'll see you guys.
Awesome. And I'm going to be in Dubai on 14th, Bangalore on the 21st, and Goa on the 28th. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching or listening to this too. Do leave a comment or two and share this episode with your friends. Once again, absolute pleasure to have cutie Saaniya Abbas on our podcast. My name is Daniel Fernandez. Take care. Goodbye.